Egyptian Ambassador Sami Ismail was released last Friday evening by the Peruvian rebels and joins us now from Lima. Mr. Ambassador, with both the government and the rebels quiet today, what is your sense of the situation? Do you have a feeling that there's active negotiations going on behind the scenes, or is it your view that both sides want to let things settle down for a while now?
I believe there must be some kind of talks or negotiations are going on, because what happened, the release of the 225, and before on Friday, the release of the 33, not the 38, didn't come like a gift, didn't come like a coincidence. There must be something going on.
It's obvious that the rebels are trying to show themselves to the world as being reasonable and nonviolent. And American Donald Boyd just talked to us about they're hoping to find a place in the politics of Peru. From your time inside the compound, is that your sense of what they're after?
Actually, when they started releasing the ladies and the old and the sick, they wanted to show some kind of goodwill. When they didn't kill the two Peruvians who escaped, the leader came and told us that they could have shot them, but they didn't do that because it was too early for them to kill anybody. They don't want to kill anybody. Then, when they started releasing other people, they tried also to gain public opinion and to get rid of the hostages, because you cannot control the 480 in this place. And little by little, they were making a favor to themselves by releasing the hostages and trying to gain Peruvian public opinion and world public opinion.
And what is it they're after by going after Peruvian and world public opinion?
They want to prove that they are revolutionaries, they are not terrorists. That this hostage situation is not only to release their 400 colleagues in jails in Peru and Bolivia. They wanted to start a dialogue to end what they call the political terrorism in Peru, which they're accusing the government of using methods which they don't agree upon. They want a dialogue, they want to change the whole situation into a peace process, like what happened probably in Colombia sometime and in Guatemala lately.
Let's talk, if we can, about some of the possible ways that this might end. I understand that when you were in the compound, some of the rebels talked about a kind of safe passage that they would be given at the end of this process, taking some of the hostages, the most highly prized hostages, back to the mountains with them.
Yes. First of all, they said that they are not coming in just to look for a way out for themselves. They wanted to solve the problems, and even if it is solved, they will select a group of the hostages to take them to the mountains. And when they are sure that nobody is after them, they will release them in the mountains.
We hear these fairly dramatic demands that are being made for the release of hundreds of the terrorists who are already in the prisons, reworking the economic system. Do you feel that they're more realistic than that and would be willing to settle for a good deal less than that?
I think so. We were not negotiating with them inside. We were exchanging ideas. Their leader would come and talk to us about what they want, about what they expect, about what we should do to help him, what foreign ambassadors should do to let their countries put some pressure on the government to start a dialogue. And this was some kind of a debate, a discussion, rather than a negotiation.
You raise a rather remarkable point, though. You're saying that the leader of the rebels, I assume this is Nestor Chirpa, was asking for your advice?
Not exactly. He comes to us every now and then with the situation. He calls us to tell us that what is happening, how they are giving every day something to the government to prove their goodwill, while the government is not responding. And he would ask us to help by calling our governments, or by when the first 5 ambassadors came out, they came with a plea to the public opinion for 2 messages from them that they are willing to negotiate and that they are looking for a broader peace, and messages from us that we suffer of lack of food, of lack of water, of lack of electricity.
Obviously, President Fujimori has considerable pressures on him, among other things, from the Peruvian army. How does he end this peaceably without making concessions that are unacceptable to major elements in Peru?
I trust the President Fujimori is a very intelligent man, and he had passed through crises before. I got an impression that he gave the impression to more than one high official from the foreign ministers and ambassadors who came from foreign countries, that he is in full control of the situation. He has something in mind that I cannot tell what, because it is a difficult situation. We don't know when the rest is coming. We don't know if the government will release any of the hostages. We don't know how it's going to end, because the 225 was a great surprise. The 33 were another surprise, and probably we'll be seeing another surprise soon.
What do you think are the chances to avoid a violent end to all this?
The government, the president, and the minister who is in charge, they assured us that there will be no violent resolution, that the government will not restore to violence unless they start killing hostages.
Mr. Ambassador, we're going to have to leave it there tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. And I'll be back in a moment. Follow continuing developments on the hostage crisis in Peru, beginning tomorrow on Good Morning America. And that's our report for tonight. I'm Chris Wallace in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
If you'd like a transcript or video cassette of this or any other edition of Nightline, please call 1-800-913-3434. Nightline is online with America Online. AOL members use the keyword ABC News.
Nightline is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. No.